Hey everybody, Jason here. So I'm out walking the streets of Santiago de Queretaro in Mexico. A couple weeks ago, I put a request out for some questions, if any viewers had questions for me. I got a bunch. I've picked 10, and yeah, this video I'm going to try to answer your questions. And very uncharacteristically of me, I'm going to try to do it quickly. Okay, so why did I move to Mexico? I'm looking for a place where I can set up a shop, basically, live for, let's say, 9 months of the year. I will always want to be in Canada for, visiting family and canoe trips, camping, that type of thing. But I'm not a fan of the Canadian winter. So Mexico is a great option because of the low cost of living, as well as its proximity to Canada, so travel is easy. Well, easy-ish, we're still dealing with this pandemic thing where flights are crazy, but, it's easy for me I could go online and get a flight from Queretaro to Ottawa today and leave tomorrow and be there in, well, technically like 10-12 hours or something like that. So if things went smoothly, of course right now it takes longer, but yeah, so that's one of the main reasons. I looked at places all over the world where I would like to travel to and possibly live, but Mexico is the closest to Canada that has a climate that I would like, and I would say that's the reason. We can get into why did I come to Queretaro, but that's an entirely different video. Okay, so the next question is about personal safety. How comfortable am I with my personal safety, especially when walking around filming? Okay, so I'm not gonna lie to you, personal safety is always on my mind. Thing is, when I was moving here, I did research, and everything that I read was that Queretaro was a safe city. Of course, safety is subjective, right? And I will be doing a video about the safety of living in Queretaro. I can even say right now, setting up to do the shot, someone observed my camera and is now hanging out on the street relatively close to me, just there behind me. And, I waited for a while to see if he would leave, and he's just kind of walking slow, stopping, walking slow. So, yeah, safety's a concern. The thing is, Santiago de Queretaro has a good reputation for safety. That's number one. Number two is, I do other things as well, right? I go out into the wilderness by myself for a week at a time, canoeing, early season or late in the season when the weather is not the best, and I know that if I dump the boat that, I could be in real trouble. I've been out on portages in the middle of nowhere by myself, where I could bump into some kind of wildlife that, is as friendly as, this guy that I'm keeping my eye on. So I think, the same thing applies, that I take precautions and I keep my alert level high. I'm vigilant. I'm shooting right now with my iPhone, and normally it's tucked away in my pocket when I'm not using it. I did pull out my DSLR type camera and set it up on my tripod to get the shot that you will have seen that I used in B-roll, and I think that's what this guy noticed. But even my iPhone, the value, to put it into perspective a little bit, and I lower my voice just naturally. Even my iPhone, minimum wage here, my iPhone is worth 4.5 months worth of earnings. So yeah, for someone to reach out and grab it and sell it, they could make some money pretty easily. So of course it's a concern. Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna go get coffee. Okay, so the next question is what is the next question? Okay, so the next question is, if someone was to tell me that they were headed to Queretaro, what would I suggest they do and see? Buenos días.
Buenos días. Buenos días.
¿Cómo estás?
Bien, gracias.
Bien.
¿Tú qué tal?
¿Perdón?
¿Tú qué tal?
No entiendo.
How are you?
Oh,
like
okay.
¿Qué tal is like, and you?
Alternative to E2.
Okay.
Yeah, see?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Me gustaría un cappuccino, por favor?
Claro que sí. Leche entera, regular milk.
Sí, regular milk.
Cool.
Gracias.
To take away, para llevar, or to drink here?
Yeah, what would I recommend people do? I would recommend people learn the language. Don't come here, unless you're only coming for a short period of time, like, you know, a week, then maybe it's a little bit excusable. Even then, learn some Spanish. You know, you want to learn how to say, you know, hello and goodbye and please and thank you and how to ask for something. If you're planning to stay here longer term, then yeah, learn the language, make an effort, start learning before you arrive. I started a month or two before, and I wish I had started sooner. I'm actively trying to learn the language now. It's important not just to be polite, but I think to see a culture, to learn about a culture, then you know, you can see it. But to really live it, really understand it, you need to engage with the locals. You need to try to learn the language, just so that you can have those better communication, better conversations. So yeah, number one, learn some Spanish. What would I recommend people see? I would recommend you see Centro Histórico, if I said that right, hopefully. And also get out of the city and see some of the Sierra Gorda. I did a walk around video that people can check out of some of the stuff I saw. I'm going to be doing another video that is specific to the Centro historical area of downtown Queretaro, which is one of these beautiful historical cities that, you know, like so many around the world. But I think Santiago de Queretaro is really, well, maybe it's known, wasn't known to me, so I would say it's unknown. It should be known because it's stunning. So yeah, anyway, I'm gonna move on. Next question. Okay, so the next question is, do I plan on doing any fishing here while I'm in Queretaro? Not in there. Okay, I'm just moving on from the river. I was drawing attention to myself again, so yeah, it's a strange day for that. You know, I answered the question of how do I feel about safety while filming, and typically I feel good. Just then, I definitely had someone staring at me. So move on. But back to the question, do I plan on doing some fishing here? Yeah. Yeah, I definitely am planning. I just have to work out the details. Before I came to Mexico, I looked at some of the areas that I can go fishing, especially on the coast, and the fish that are out there, and I would love to do that. I also discovered just recently, while out in the Sierra Gorda, like a pristine river. And while walking along it, I saw a trout, a decent sized one. So yeah, I'd love to get out. It's just a matter of logistics and understanding the safety and like land ownership and things like that. So I hope to do some fishing before I return to Canada for canoe season. I just have to sort it out. And to be honest, there's so much to do here. I'm more busy now than I was when I was in Canada for the past 20 years. So yeah, I would like to. I would really like to. If someone's watching this and does fishing around Queretaro, or even semi-convenient to where I am, yeah, hook me up. I want to go. I made a mistake, and I'm going to mention it because it's a good example of why you should learn the language. So I walked over to my co-working space, which I thought opened at 12. Went in, there were two ladies behind the desk who I believe are cleaning ladies. And as I was entering, they spoke to me very quickly in Spanish, which I said, no entiendo, I don't understand. At which point they raised their voice a little bit more and spoke in a lot more Spanish, a lot faster. I think probably thinking that I would understand it if they spoke louder. But I did manage to get out of them one thing, uno, at which point I spoke in English saying, I thought it was open at 12. And they shook their head no and said uno. So anyway, learn some of the language. All that said, yeah, I won't be going into the co-working space quite yet, but we will continue this video. So moving on with the questions, I have a couple questions about canoes, canoe building. So the first question is, would I or have I thought about building a lightweight composite boat like Kevlar or carbon fiber? And the answer is yes. For years now, I've thought about it. Obviously right now I'm in Mexico, I'm traveling, so that's not going to happen for some time, but especially when I built the ugly canoe, and then I've been paddling it the last couple of years. I love that boat. I would really like to see it as a composite, see how it goes. That said, the ugly canoe is only 40 pounds, so that's pretty light as it is, but yeah, no, it interests me, right? I like building canoes. Yeah, maybe one day, right? Maybe one day. Okay, so the next question is, do I have any recommendations on forms or systems? And to be honest, when I first read the question, I thought it had to do with martial arts forms or systems. Yeah, I've never filmed any of that, but for 30 years I practiced martial arts. I don't anymore, but it was a big part of my life, so it's just how my brain works. Okay, and then I thought, of course, it's not about martial arts. It's got to be about building and the forms that you use to build canoes. So, here's the thing. I can't really recommend forms or building systems. I can make recommendations, advice that I would give new builders. That advice would be find the boat, the design that best suits what you want. So if you're new to canoeing, go try a few canoes, find the canoe or kayak that performs the way that you want it to, right? So is it fast enough? Is it maneuverable enough? Is it stable enough? Does it carry enough of a load? Those questions, is it comfortable for you? And when you find the canoe that you like, then you find the design, and how you can build that, or the closest thing to that boat. So for example, if you find a Bob Special is perfect for you, then a company like Bear Mountain Boats has the designs for Bob Special, and you can contact them to get the plans and all of that. Bottom line is, it's always function before form. So find the boat that functions the way that you want it to, then that's the design, right? And then find where you can get that. So options would be Bear Mountain Boats or Chesapeake Light Craft, good, reliable, proven designs that I would recommend. Okay, so the next question about canoe building is, do I have any tips or tricks to increase hull strength without compromising on the weight of the boat? I've got a screaming child somewhere. Okay, so put the camera in a plant pot, help with some stability issues. Now anybody walking by is gonna see me speaking to the plant, but anyhow. Last question about canoe building is, do I have any tips or tricks to increase hull strength without compromising on the weight? So yeah, okay, so first I would say you can do things to reduce the overall weight and look at that. So just little things like the size of your decks, right? Make them a size that isn't huge, especially we're talking wooden boats here, so every little bit counts. Yeah, don't make them huge, and then you're gonna save a little bit of weight, even if we're just talking grams. Using scuppered inwells, right? So you have the little grooves in them. You're reducing material there. It's gonna take a bit more labor, but I think it looks better, and it saves a little bit of weight, just tiny bits, but it's grams, right? And you just want to save from here and there. That'll save some weight, and then you can do a few things to help increase the strength. One thing I would suggest is that you know, you can obviously add another layer of fiberglass on the outside of the boat, and that's going to, you know, double up that fiberglass protection. But I would say don't do it for the entire hull. Instead, just do a football patch on the bottom. And yeah, then you're not going to have all of the weight of the cloth and the epoxy to, you know, cover that. But more so with that, I would say to, you know, understand how you paddle and the conditions that you'll be going in, so that you know where the wear will be on your hull. So another example would be, you know, at the bow and the stern of your boat. We would call them the stems, but you can have a stemless canoe. You can put the skid plate on it, and same, you don't have to have that skid plate all the way up to the deck running down. Think about where the wear is going to be and bring it down a little bit so that it's where the canoe's going to bump into rocks and then slide up onto the shore, and you're just, you know, making better use of it. I would say also, depending, you can trim that Kevlar skid plate down so that you're not using as much of it, right? Similar to the football patch, right? Make it the size that you need. And just, you know, that's the way to go. I would also say about strength is that with cedar strip boats, they're pretty strong. So don't underestimate what they have available in their design already. And then also the last point would be have a look at how other composite boats are made. One good, I'm not saying specifically for the brand, but just because of you can see into it, is look at the Soares River style canoes, because they're that almost translucent Kevlar, and you can see how they lay it out and where they put things to make their boat stronger. You can do that with, you know, any canoe. Go to a canoe shop and look at all the different models of canoe and what they've done in their design to increase the strength of it. And also things, you know, you can look at them, okay, so they did that to add a bit more buoyancy. They did that to add more strength, you know. They don't have this to save weight, you know, all of that. And just, yeah, do that research and, you know, take notes or mentally take notes and then try to apply that to your build. Okay, well, I've decided I'm not going to just sit and wait for an hour, keep walking, finish up this video. The next question is one that I'm being asked a lot. I'll be honest, it's a difficult answer to give. The question is, am I going to be finishing my Gypsy Wagon Vardo? So I actually had a few questions about this, and I've had it in my comments on the Vardo series. I think I'll be getting questions about that build and when I'm going to finish it, if I'm going to finish it, how I'm going to finish it for a long time. Okay, so here's the thing. So I need to answer this question, and I need to do it in a private way, but just give the answer. Bottom line is I was married for 20 years and now I'm not. Yeah, this is one of the reasons what spurred me to travel, head out to the east coast of Canada and then now to Mexico, looking for where I want to live. Big changes in my life. But as far as the Vardo goes, yeah, she liked it and I gave it to her. Sad to see it go. Obviously I had lots of plans for it. Yeah, it was a lot of fun to build, but I'm not going to be putting it in my backpack to travel, and you know, what do I do with it? So she liked it, I gave it to her. Okay, so the next question is about my weight, and yes, I lost some weight this year. You know, I don't know if it's from the stress of everything else that's gone on in life. I don't think so, because I made like focused effort to improve my health, and I think that would be how I did it. I decided that I wanted to return to who I feel that I am. You know, look in the mirror and ask myself, you know, what the hell happened here? So I had to make some changes. I used an app called MyFitnessPal. It's like a weight tracker, calorie counter, and activity tracker. I would highly recommend it to anyone, regardless of whether you're trying to reduce some weight or put on weight or whatever. It's a great app. Exercise, I started to exercise more. Got up to walking 10 kilometers a day, and then was also doing calisthenics, like body weight exercises, push-ups, sit-ups, leg raises, squats, lunges, that type of thing, and also a little bit of weight training, so the resistance training that's good for everybody. And then on top of that, reducing junk food and alcohol intake. So I will still consume alcohol, but only socially, and try to make it like rarely socially. You know, I'm not gonna preach to anybody, but alcohol's not good for you, and it's just empty calories. And so just recognizing that, I thought, yeah, do I need it? No, I don't need it. It's nice to have it at, you know, a Thanksgiving dinner or whatever, or, you know, over at someone's house, but other than that, yeah, don't need it. It's only a negative effect. The bottom line for me and losing weight was that I want to keep doing these things that I like doing. Travel, you know, wilderness travel, you know, building stuff. And I want to do it for, you know, decades to come. So, you know, it was a decision based on health and, yeah, who I was 20 years ago and wanting to return to be more like that person. Okay, so the final question of the day is a two-parter. Well, what's the process of becoming a YouTuber? Yeah, you know, there's so much to this. It's gonna be hard to keep it down to like a minute and a half, 2 minutes. The process, yeah, find a topic that you enjoy. That would be number one. You know, if it's about assets, like if we're talking about being a successful YouTuber, it's about having some assets. And this might sound terrible, but you know, the assets could be your good looks, the assets could be your knowledge, assets could be, you know, access to something, right? And that's what you want to use to make yourself successful. But of course you can create for YouTube just to create and enjoy the you know, the process of photography and video. That's what I do. I love creating. So I'm grateful that people actually find some value and watch the videos. But yeah, that's the process. Then once you know what content you're gonna do, film, edit, repeat. Film, edit, repeat. So that's the process. The second part of the question is dealing with being private and shy. Yeah, you know what? I'm private and shy. I'm an introvert. You know, I did a podcast with the canoe hand a couple months ago, and he actually asked me in the spring, I think, of last year. Hey, I must have seemed like such a jerk, just with the, you know, excuses to avoid it. Yeah, I was afraid to do an interview. So yeah, I'm a shy private person. I've learned to talk to a camera. Talking to a camera is easier for me than talking to people in real life. You know, like one-on-one is okay, groups, no way. And then I do struggle with the privacy thing still. I am terrible for my own social media type stuff at replying to people and stuff like that, interacting online. That's kind of the reason why I wanted to do this video and answer questions. I know I need to break out of my comfort zone and engage people a little bit more. Traveling is pushing that and teaching me. And so for myself, my own development, I thought I should do it with my channel, and the people who communicate or try to communicate with me, I should try to communicate back. So yeah, that's all I can really say about the privacy and the shyness. But yeah, as far as the process goes, yeah, my earlier comments, pick a topic you know, focus on your assets, and then film, edit, repeat. Okay, well, I guess that's the end of this video. Before I sign off, just want to say thank you for sending in those questions. I did receive other questions that I didn't answer. A few that came in on other social feeds, Facebook, Instagram, and I really wanted to focus on the YouTube community tab. Also, I got a few questions that came in a little late just for planning the video, and I had to choose, some, and I think even 10 made this video probably very long. So anyway, if you are curious about those things, then maybe I'll do videos on them, or do another video like this in the future, or you're always welcome to send me a message and we can talk about it one-on-one. All right, so hopefully you like this video. If you did, give it the thumbs up. As always, I'll ask you to leave a comment, and if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. All right, thanks for watching.